Alrighty then, hello my lovely Padawans and welcome to yet another deck profile that I'm making, and this time around is going to be my January Krawler version. And we are starting off the monster lineup with three of these guys. I hope you can see it well. But this is Krawler Spine. So three of these guys. Pretty much what this guy does is that this archetype is a flip archetype, so when he is flipped by any means, be it effects or battle or whatever, he allows you to target a monster on the field and destroy it. And just like all the other main deck monsters, that are the Krawler monsters that are gonna follow, he has a secondary effect which allows you to special summon two Krawler monsters from your deck, with different names other than Spine or any other that was destroyed by a card effect, in face down defense position. And this guy has, or any other of these guys have to be in attack, or just in face up position to get that effect. Then you have three copies of this guy, Krawler Axon. He is pretty much your spell and trap removal. When he is flipped, you can special summon. you can target one spell or trap card from the field and destroy it. And then you have this guy, Krawler Receptor. Again, three of these guys. This is pretty much the rota of the deck. When this guy is flipped, you can search your deck for a Krawler monster and add it to your hand. And it can be any Krawler monster, really, even Receptor himself. Then we have the monster reborn of the deck, which is Krawler Gliao. And I run three of these guys, pretty much similarly to the other guys. When he is flipped, you can special summon a Krawler monster from your hand or graveyard in face up or face down defense position. And this is amazing. It also works with your Krawler Link monsters, which is really, really dope. Then we have Krawler Dendrite. This is pretty much the deck thinner of your deck. Pretty much when he's flipped, you get to send a monster. And that's the good part about this card. It's a monster, not just a Krawler monster, from your deck to your graveyard, and you can pretty much do a lot of crazy combo wombos. It doesn't have to be Krawlers only specifically. Then we have two copies of World Legacy. I don't know if you can see the text good. World Legacy World Armor. Two copies of this guy. So pretty much this is a World Legacy support card. It can work with any of the World Legacies if you want it to work, but it works best with Krawlers. Pretty much when a monster is on the field is flipped, and that includes your opponent's monsters as well, you get to special summon this guy. When you special summon him in that way, from your hand, you can search your deck for a card that has World Legacy in its name, and that pretty much includes your main spell and trap card in your deck for the Krawlers. Then I run two copies of Self-Destruct Ant. This is a card that you can go without if you want to. I really want to replace it with something more cancerous, because cancer in Yu-Gi-Oh is it's not that bad, really. You gotta have some cancer in your life. So yeah, Self-Destruct Ant is pretty much similar to your Krawlers in that it's an earth monster, it's an insect, and it's a flip monster. So other than for one of your link monsters, it is going to work pretty well. It's a flip effect, as I said. When it's flipped, both players lose 1,000 life points, and when it's sent to the graveyard by battle or card effect, your opponent loses another 1,000 life points. So this is a nice way to burn your opponent a bit. And last but not least, I have one budgety hand trap effect veiler, because you gotta be veiling those effects, right? This is moving too much. So yeah, that's for the monster lineup. And now for the spells, we have the main spell of the deck, which is the field spell. This guy. It's World Legacy in Shadow. Pretty much you have to run 3 of these guys, and this is a very good field spell. First, it gives you a nice 300 attack and defense boost to your monsters. It gives you a bonus special summon of a Krawler monster, and if a Krawler monster on your field, or sorry, if a flip monster on your field, then that means any flip monster in existence, is destroyed by battle, by your opponent, the monster that destroyed it is sent to the graveyard. So yeah, funny thing, this doesn't destroy and doesn't target. And then of course you need to more efficiently search for your spell, field spell. I've got 2 terraformings. Then I have 1 Book of Mirror, Book of Moon, because you can do crazy shit with it. Too bad it's only at 1. 1 Moon Mirror Shield, because people do not expect this card. And then for some back row destruction, in this deck I run, of course I can switch it around with other shit, but currently I run 2 Galaxy Cyclones and 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. And then for some other crazy techs that I'm testing out recently, I run 1 United We Stand and 1 Mage Power, because pretty much the win condition for Crawlers is to have 6 Utopias on the field that can do double battle damage and can attack directly, which is really, really nice. Now for traps, we start off with the main trap, which is World Legacy Pawns. So this is a continuous trap. You need 3. Absolutely, you need 3. And not even a single card less. Pretty much this card has 2 effects, and you can use only 1 of them per turn. So one of the effects is allows you to flip a face down monster on your field, and the other effect allows you to flip a face up monster face down and recycle and shuffle a monster from your grave to your deck. Pretty much that is your main trap card. And then we have some staples. We have Bottomless, we have Torrential Tribute, we have Dark Bribe, we have Mirror Force, and we have Quaking Mirror Force, cause why not? That's for the main deck. And now going to the extra deck, we have, I have just links. I have 3 copies of Synaphysis, so this is the shittiest of the Link monsters. Pretty much all the Link monsters' second effects are the same, as in if they leave the field in any, and I mean any, circumstance. That can be destruction by battle or spell. It can be just sent to the grave or banished or just bounced back into your extra deck. Any of those ways in which this monster would leave the field. After it leaves the field, you can special summon 2 Crawler monsters from your deck, from your graveyard onto your field in either face up or face down defense position. Right, so we've covered that up. What's special about Synaphysis? Pretty much just like the other one, which is the same link points. Synaphysis boosts your monsters that it points to, Crawler monsters that it points to cannot be destroyed by battle. They also gain 300 attack and defense, and can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. So pretty much anything that this card points to gets 2 attacks on monsters per battle phase, which is it's not bad. Then the next one is X-Crawler Neurogos. This guy has the same second effect as I said, the same first effect. Pretty much Crawler monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by battle, and gain 300 attack and defense. But what is special about this guy is that the monsters it points to, if they battle opponents' monsters, any battle damage they inflict is doubled, which is pretty nice. And then the main monster of the Crawlers is X-Crawler Qualiarch. 3 of these guys. So pretty much, this guy is really good. This guy starts your links. If you want to, of course, you can use other things, but the win condition about this deck is that you need 6 crawler monsters face up on the field. So this guy doesn't do some, crazy shit like the other two. Like, he doesn't make your monsters it points to indestructible or something like that. But it opens up your your extract place with the bottom left and bottom right link points. And it has effects based on how many crawler monsters you have. If you have 2 or more, each crawler monster gains 300 attack and defense. If you have 4 or more crawler monsters, during your battle phase, they're pretty much utopias. AKA your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. And if you have 6 or more, and you can't really have more than 6, so you have 6. If you have 6 crawler monsters on the field, your monsters can attack your opponent directly, which is amazing. So your win condition is pretty much super beefed up monsters that are utopias and can attack directly. And for your side deck, you can pretty much run anything that you want, from Deep Barrier to other funky cards to sub-terrors and shit. But overall, Crawlers. The Krawler deck is a very, very underestimated, underestimated deck. It's of course a rogue deck. It's not nothing meta or tier 2, 1, 2, 3, whatever. But it's a fun deck to play. It's cheap to build, and most people don't like it because it's kind of slow. But once it catches up, it can do very, very, very well depending on the situation. And if not, your opponent will at least not OTK you or something, because you can pretty much spawn monsters all day long with this deck. The only problem is if they banish your main deck monsters, well, that's gonna suck. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, my lovely Parvans, and I will see you in the next one.